what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a concept here. I'm going to, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to look at these problems and we're going to see what matches up with what, all right? So it says match each inequality with its corresponding statement, okay? So you've got, you could say, oh, 3n, so what we're looking for is we're looking for the right language here, and we don't say 3n, right? You have to think about what it means, and then exactly what that means and how is that different from something like this. And so if I look at number one, you're multiplying 3 and n. So we got to look for something that says, 3 times a number, or the product of 3 and a number, or something like that. So if we look at that, we've got this a is 3 times a number is at most 9, and then d is 3 times the number is less than 9. In C, you have negative 3 times the number, but we don't have a negative. So it looks like we're going to be looking at A or D. Now, the difference is A says at most 9, and D says less than 9. And this is clearly less than. Remember, at most would be less than or equal to. All right, so what's nice about that then is not only do we know that this one goes here, but we also know that this one right here, number 3, goes with A. So you've got 3 times the number is less than 9. D matches up with 1, and A matches up with number 3. All right, number 2, whenever you see a 1/3 or any kind of fraction for that matter in front of a variable, you think of it that fraction of a number. So like if you have 1/2 x, you would think of 1/2 of x, because that's what it means. It means half of x. Right? If you had 2/3 of z, you would say 2/3 of z. You don't say 2/3 times z. That just sounds really stiff. It would be the fraction of the variable. So if we look at number 2, we would read this as 1/3 of n, and then I know this is a greater than or equal to sign. So I've got 2 1/3s in here. I've got this one and I've got this one. So this one says 1/3 of a number is no more than 9. Well, this clearly states that it would be at least 9, and if not more. And then so f, 1/3 of a number is greater than or equal to 9, is our culprit. That's what we want. Look at number 4. You've got a -3 that's multiplying by n. So we've got these two negative ones open here. So we've got this one and we've got this one. Well, this one says -3 times the number is more than 9. And that kind of looks like that could be right. Let's look at this other one. -3 times the number is at least 9 means that it could be equal to 9, but it might be more than it. So we want this first one because we know that it's not equal to 9. We know that it's always greater than 9. Okay, and so that means this other one, this -3, is at least 9. And then by process of elimination, this one should line up with that. And let's check it really quick. So you've got 1/3 of n is at most 9, right? Or no more than 9. And so yeah, that works, because that's what less than or equal to means. So that's kind of the looking at the language of this and how this works when you're dealing with products. And they talk about division with this, but division is the same thing as basically multiplying by a fraction, especially when the numerator is 1, because you can write 1/3 of n also as n over 3. So it's, kind of two ways of saying the same thing. All right, so we're going to pause the video here, and we'll pick up the next one at starting to solve some problems.